welcome to the June 10th Conservation Commission meeting. Tonight we have two guests with us, joining us, the Wells and
Heidi McLaughlin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Heidi McLaughlin and Logan Wells. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. And usually we have some folks online, and I don't think Patrick's joined us yet, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm very happy that you could make it. I'm quite excited about your proposals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Guests are always great.
Yes.
Yeah. So usually we have a public comment for members of the public to have ask us questions or have comments about things. We'll have it at the end too, but that you have a special place on the agenda. Okay. Yeah. So because we knew you were coming. So the first thing that we want to do is approve the May 13th minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we always owe Lori a debt of gratitude
Yeah.
for those minutes. I have often heard that it takes 3 times as much time to write minutes as it does to actually have a meeting. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, yeah. Any changes or we need to approve?
I need, does someone want to make a motion to
I
approve
move
them?
that we approve the minutes of May 13th.
And is there a second? I need a second.
Does the discussion come after second?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion.
I have an addition to it, I think, if that's okay.
Yes.
Is that Patrick, I don't think I saw it in here, Lori, that Patrick was going to display Abenaki and colonial reproductions at the District Number 5 Schoolhouse on Sunday, May 26th.
Okay.
And he did, and he also had seeds.
Yes.
That's right. So it was, and seeds, and offer seeds.
It was really neat if anyone missed it.
I was not there.
It was unbelievable. Both he and his son Morgan are craftsmen extraordinaire in the tradition of their heritage, which is Abenaki of sorts. Beautiful.
And did Morgan start talking to you about, some of those were his personal items that he had made. Did he talk about that? It would be wonderful to have him
Yeah.
do something with us. Really.
Thanks.
It's just gorgeous. Well done.
That's a good idea.
Okay, with that addition, does anyone have any other additions of minutes? No. So is there then all in favor of approving the minutes with changes? Say
Aye.
Right, minutes are approved. Good. Yes. So, Betsy, you're next with,
Okay.
yeah.
Can I ask a question about the agenda? You said that Logan was on here. Where is Logan on here?
It is item number 5. No, number 6. Conservation District proposal.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So Betsy, do you?
Yes,
Okay.
and I will probably mostly read. I'm nervous.
Do we have anyone online?
Audience.
You do know?
Oh, it's just us. How about we just munch on your bread while you, and you won't be nervous.
Yeah. So it turns out that I didn't get to you to change it on the agenda, but the overall topic is peatlands because bogs are members of peatlands. I kind of tuned into this idea because I'm so curious and I've never known the exact differences between bogs and fens, which are all in the category of peatlands. So peatlands are wetlands that accumulate peat, which is a soil made up primarily of decomposed organic material. They occur mostly in northern cold climate and boreal, which is our Arctic regions, that have an annual precipitation. It might be rain or snow or ice, freezing rain. They're also always saturated with water at or near the soil level. So this is peatlands in general. Oxygen is not present, therefore the plant growth above the water surface exceeds the decomposition below, because there's no oxygen, there's very little oxygen in the water, which does encourage the decomposition. And then layers of peat collect yearly. Both bogs and fens are types of peatlands. There's also an alpine peatland, which is above 3,500 feet. So more like what's up on Mount Mansfield, as opposed to down this level. Fens, which may be flat or gently sloping, are dominated by grasses and sedges and non-sphagnum mosses, or sometimes called brown mosses. They are slightly acidic, mineral-rich waters from groundwater excess. So that's one of the distinctions between a fen and a bog. Bogs receive their water source mostly from precipitation. Fens receive it from underground springs and accumulation from groundwater. A rich fen is the most enriched type, and they are minerotrophic, which means they're more fertile for plant growth. Examples of those are locally in Calais, which is the Chickering fen. It's sometimes termed bog, but it's really a fen. And then the Eshqua fen in Hartland, which is down near Woodstock. Those are two examples in our state. Bogs, however, have slightly raised surfaces and are most of their water and nutrients come from precipitation. They are ambrotrophic, meaning their supply of water and nutrients come from the rain or snow. They have acidic water and are poor in nutrients and minerals, therefore dominated by sphagnum mosses. And I didn't even believe this, but there are 29 types of sphagnum moss species.
Right.
Vegetation in a bog includes heath shrubs and in some areas black spruce. Bog water is stagnant, so the decomposition is more slow. And they experience water stress, which is a curious phenomena, especially in our state. Plant roots can be still frozen while the temperatures above the water level are warm enough to start plants growing. So that's kind of a curious situation there. They're half frozen and half thriving in a bog. Vermont peatlands have been forming since the retreat of the glaciers. Layers over time show varying types of plant growth and climate variables, so they're really very key in being source for climatic history and research. Those are peatlands, bogs and fens. And then I have some listings of bogs and where to visit them. There are, so in dwarf shrub bogs, there are 4 in our state that I learned about, and I don't know, I can give you the names and the locations. One that is quite well known is the Peachum Bog, which is a dwarf shrub bog. And there people would find bog laurel, sheep laurel, Labrador tea, more shrubbery, leatherleaf. In black spruce woodland bogs, Peachum is also one. And there are 5 that I discovered. One would find stunted black spruce trees covering 25 to 60% of the area of the particular bog. Heath shrubs, sphagnum moss, tamarack, laurels, both bog and sheep. Low blueberry, sundew, and pitcher plants. And those are just samplings of a few of what's in black spruce woodland bogs. And then there's a type of bog called pitch pine woodland. And they're, they have a canopy which is created by the pitch pine tree, which covers 25 to 60%. So it's a very different, as opposed to being open and available to a lot of sun and light, they're under a canopy. And there is the really cool one near us is the Magwam bog, which is in Missisquoi, part of the Missisquoi Wildlife Refuge. And one would find wild rhododendron, heath shrubs, sphagnum moss, cotton grass, which requires a little more substance of peat, and large cranberry and small cranberry as examples. And I have the names of 4 resources for bogs if one wants to do more research. Wetland, Woodland, Wildland, which is written by, her name is Ann Thompson. She's in our state. She lives in Jericho. She's very knowledgeable. She does a lot of Zoom
I
presentations.
think it's a different name. Hold on one sec. I'll check that out.
And a fellow named Sorensen is his last name. Bogs of the Northeast, which is by C. Johnson. Bogs and Fens by R. Davis. And then of all the curious people, for those who read, Annie Proulx, who wrote Chipping News and Barkskins, she also wrote a book titled Fen, Bog, and Swamp.
Nice.
So,
Okay, cool.
yeah, so that would be different reading. It would be a little less factual. And that's kind of what I have.
I have a question about the Maquam or Maquam, I call it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I mean, is that one along the shore on the lake or on the other side of the, it's, you know?
You know, I didn't look in the atlas. I
Yeah.
don't exactly know the precise location, but it is part of that land that's preserved, and it's quite a neat bog. I did mention the 2 rich fens, which I, in Esquimalt and in Calais, the Chickering fen, I thought it would be fun if we could get a carload of folks soon who might want to go down to the Esquimalt fen and see it. It's loaded with lady slipper, white and pink lady slipper. And it's soon, I know I grow some lady slipper at home, and they're in bloom. So sooner than later we ought to go.
The first lady slippers for those are the yellow lady slippers, and I think they're probably gone by now. Around now. But yeah, the pink lady slippers and the white ones are so gorgeous, and you can look out and this, I love it.
So can you walk
It-
in front of
yeah.
that?
It's been donated to the Native Plant Trust and the Nature Company, right? TC.
Are
So
there
there's a
walking
board.
paths?
Yeah,
Yeah.
walking paths,
really?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And then there are other kinds of, orchid type things too
Yeah.
there. So it actually will knock your socks off, I have to say, if you go and look at all that.
Is that the Woodstock one or the Callis one?
No, it's Heartland, Heartland Woodstock. Yeah.
And just as a side note, we have
It's called the.
Eschquams. It's spelled ESHQUA.
Eschwa,
It's
yeah.
interesting in the names of those, the fens. I feel like I've seen what you were depicting, like where it's like wet with it's probably more grassy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the cow pasture is kind of near us, and it's like overgrown with buttercups.
Oh, yeah.
Picture. It's really wet though. Like, you can't really walk through it.
It's very interesting. Can you end up sending that to Lori? Maybe Lori or your notes could include it with the minutes.
Oh, maybe I don't
Yes.
have a picture.
And I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe on our webpage, but just a curiosity, which is so cool, is we have Pink Lady Slipper in the Crane Brook Conservation District.
Oh, really? Where?
Yes.
So.
The secret
I
where.
haven't seen that.
It's not so
I
secret.
didn't really look around too much.
It's, if you're up at the top of the meadow, you know where the picnic table is,
Yeah.
you walk that little trail behind,
Oh, the one that goes down where that fallen tree was?
no, right behind, so the woodland start behind the picnic table and the meadow. And there's a trail that runs parallel.
Wait, like towards the class 4 road? Or like,
So you have the picnic table at your left elbow.
where are you walking up from and looking?
So go up from the parking lot or the town garage,
Okay.
go up the meadow road, up to the picnic table at the top of the meadow.
Yeah.
And then stand there and there'll be a little curved path that goes to the left. And there are about 4 back in there. One is tucked by a rock. 2 are by a birch tree, which was planted years ago by the Conservation Commission. And then there's one further tucked back in the woods, right on the edge of the path. I mean, you have to kind of look, it's not like right there.
It's pretty close to the picnic table, right? I'd say within 15 feet of the picnic table,
Oh,
which
really?
is surprising
Wow, I
because it's
didn't
up on a hill. You wouldn't imagine
Mhm.
that that's lady slipper territory, but it's
So it's
right up there.
These are the, I mean, this is my photography, myself, but these are some of the lady slippers at the Esquwa Bog.
Oh, my word.
Oh, yeah, they're all
What a
over.
density of
They're,
them.
they're all
Holy
over.
Is
moly.
it like by the piles that were like man-made?
This
pushed
is
up,
a
or
double.
Like it's over
Oh
the
my
left pile?
gosh, I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
Yeah.
before.
You
have to go up and
Wow.
explore.
It's a double.
Something like
one.
that.
Go to the picnic
It's
table.
wild.
Yeah.
And then you're
So
looking
just
at,
walk 5
instead of
steps to
looking
the
out on
right.
Mansfield,
I
You're
heard
looking at the
Brook
woods.
had,
so you look on Mansfield,
recently
if
had
that's what
orchids,
Mansfield, it's like
right?
over
Yes.
there, right?
So there's
Yes.
so many different
Yeah.
types or species of
When did you
them.
say that?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is,
Off
this
the tree
is,
line.
well, you can't
Yeah,
really
I've
see
never
it,
looked over
but
that
this
way.
is another kind of orchid that I forget the name
And
of.
I've run like over by the well in that
At the
wall.
bog, yes.
Oh,
Oh, it's
it's
called,
over there.
it's called
I looked
false
a little
hero.
bit down the Pink Trail into like a
Yeah.
field,
Wow.
or,
That's right, I
like, there's
kept
like almost like a
it.
field of ferns kind of with
Here's
some rocks.
isn't that pretty?
That was pretty cool. And then I just went back up that way and I went down to like the road.
Yeah.
And I
Very nice.
went up like the normal road as well. Like I've gone around there. It's pretty cool.
Good for you.
Yeah, I like that fern place though. That's pretty cool with the rocks.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And this kind of weather that we're having right now is sort of what
Oh, yeah, you would not wanna be-
moths love, along with the bugs, but.
And it's
I
just
know.
so wet.
Yeah, well, that was really interesting. Well,
That's
you.
very,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Yeah.
Betsy.
Yeah,
That
the
was
reason,
great.
yeah, the reason I was asking about that, Mequam Shore is because up at Lake Carmi, it's not really in the lake, but it's not gonna meet the definition, I don't think. There is a bog there with
Oh,
black
yes.
spruce. Oh, it does? Does it
Oh.
meet the definition?
Um,
Or maybe they're black spruce and I was looking for false mistletoe up there.
they didn't mention that,
Yeah, so maybe it doesn't need it. That's why I was.
yeah. Well, of course, that's partly, I think that the line is very fine between each definition of what's a fen and what's a bog. It's kind of like,
So before we leave this topic then, should we try to figure out a time that people could go, or are we going to forget about it?
I could send out a email to everyone, sort of throwing out some dates, or maybe,
Be a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, if
This is
Lori were to go, it would have to be a
If she
week.
could get a,
Yeah.
she could get a
She
day
does.
off.
Just take some pictures for the Instagram page.
Oh. What about that substitute teacher?
I know,
Did you get one of those?
Yeah, so, yeah,
This is big vacation time for people, coming in June, so I would love to see some dates sooner than later.
yeah.
If you have the time.
Yeah,
Would you be interested in going? You've got school.
Probably not. I got school and then work and then exploring, cliff jumping. I love cliff jumping.
Oh.
Swimming, yeah, camping,
Summertime.
exploring. I want to go to a radar base like down south, southern Vermont. I want to explore that.
a radar
An
thing?
abandoned radar base, yeah.
Ah,
There's like one that has lead poisoning and stuff, and I don't want to go to that one. But the other one, I want to go to. So that would be really cool.
Two of them in Vermont.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
No.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe at another meeting you
It's
can kind of
connected
present about
to
radar
the
bases.
Bass,
Yes.
the Bass Trail Network, the
Okay.
snowmobile
Yeah.
network, and that's why I know. Because me and my dad went snowmobiling up there, and then discovered it. I think it's on East Mountain. Look up East Mountain, Vermont, and then it'll bring you to like photos of it.
It's an abandoned Air Force base.
Okay.
Yeah, you can drive up to it if you have four-wheel
Radar
drive.
towers are still there.
People camp there and stuff. Or you can camp there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're supposed
Right.
to.
Do? Yeah.
People do.
Interesting.
Mom's sitting right beside you. Yes, you can camp there.
Well, I did the research. She not her. She was
Yeah.
looking at the wrong one. She thought I was going to the one that has like the lead poisoning. And I was like, no, I'm going to the other one.
Just because there's ground contamination, is
Or
what it's
that's what
saying,
it is,
yeah.
But it's probably lead from the paint. That's all falling off and on the ground.
All right, so
I
what
don't know.
what we're gonna do in the future is have you down for coming back to give a little short, we have these conservation small talks now, 5 to 10 minutes, the meeting, and you can give us the
Yeah,
lowdown.
I'll probably be back with some more samples and stuff of what I perhaps have for my Eagle Scout project.
Well, great.
Yeah. And speaking of that,
Oh, wait, can I ask one thing? As the end of the conservation small talk, can we go around and give our conservation bites of things that we just want to say, that,
yes, we can. We should have, yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
okay.
Yeah, we should have done
Show and tell.
show and tell. Yeah.
So just a 1 or 2 minute quick one if anybody has anything to add.
This is a super book.
Yay.
It's called Reading the
Yeah.
Forested Landscape, and it was used for the Master Naturalist program. And that started a couple of years ago, and it's really cool because it gives you information about the things that you see that you don't really know that are historic to the woods. It's called Reading the Forested Landscape.
Like how we have like record-breaking stone walls of miles and miles, and why aren't they
Exactly.
there? And then the farming history. It's
And-
crazy.
Is this the Stonewall book? When people. Okay. Is there another one?
Couldn't they could go around the world like 7 times or whatever. Run stone walls and mileage.
Tells you about pillows and cradles that we see
Neat.
as we wander through the woods, and it's kind of a guide to the land, as if you were using a wildflower guide or something like that.
Maybe we could even send our book suggestions to the librarian at some point. Mine is a quick double. One is my hat is working wonderfully these days because it's hard to get outside and have all the black flies biting me and the deer fly biting me. So that's 1 hour of being outside with my blue cup hat.
What's on it, just so.
It's sticky. It's called sticky stuff, and it's like a paste that you just spread on.
Sticky stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is
You
that
got your
it?
chemicals.
This is made.
Well, this is not non-toxic. Just put it on your head. That's
And you've
that's
done-
one. And then the other thing I just want to mention, everybody probably knows this, is that Ethan Tapper has left the service of the state, and he has written a new book called How to Love a Forest: The Bittersweet Work of Tending a Changing World. And if you're on his mailing list, you would know that he sent out some information on it, and also suggested that people pre-order, because he's suddenly out there without a job, without benefits, without security. He would love it if people would order his book. So that's what I got.
What'd you use to stick on to attract, like on top of your hat?
It's just the blue. It's the blue that attracts,
Oh,
but you
and
put
they just-
sticky stuff on it, and it
Oh,
just, they
really?
attach to it. It's just the color blue.
That's 1 hour, all those bugs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's 1 hour?
That's 1 hour being outside in my woods. That's 1 hour. And this was really not as populated as my other one in an hour, but the other one didn't catch deer fly just because they weren't out. So I just wanted to show you there are a bunch of deer fly.
So don't wear blue. That's a good thing.
That
to
is,
know.
yeah.
Can I get a picture of your hat?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Do you want to hold it in the photo? Perfect.
Oh,
Or, okay.
or whatever you want me to do.
That's great. Thank you. Do you mind if I put it on our Instagram page?
That's
Okay.
fine. Okay, that's mine.
All right, so I was over in Maine, and I went to the coastal Midland Botanical Garden.
Oh, boy, I
It was
love that.
fabulous.
Mm.
And they had a little, and I can't help it, but when I go someplace, I look for invasives.
Oh.
And I thought I'd seen invasives there when I'm walking, and then they have a sign about them. So as I proceeded around in the different areas from, Popham Beach to wherever, I was looking for invasives. And I can remember a former planning commissioner, chair, who goes up there to fight invasives. He's one from Underhill. And I just was looking, and even the beaches now have knotweed in them.
Oh.
And
It's
Asiatic bittersweet, which is, knotweed, yeah, that's, okay. And Asiatic bittersweet sends out runners sort of and curls up things. And
Oh, I know.
and as it gets older and grows, the runner turns into like almost a woody substance. So in a mature tree, you're going to see things going up, and then in the spring, it'll sprout out from that.
Smart.
Yeah, so,
So you saw both of those?
oh yeah, both of those. And
Little poison ivy.
poison ivy, honeysuckle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it
Oh.
was, I checked, it was the one with the hollow stem, so it was really invasive. But it was interesting to go into a beautiful place, and then they're saying, beware of this is what's, not necessarily here, but within the state.
Mm.
Yeah, but the botanical gardens were amazing.
With the big trolls are still.
They have trolls there, yeah, and the irises were in bloom. And
We're trolls.
they're wooden.
Oh, no, like the
Characters.
trolls, like the actual troll. I thought it was
Yeah.
a flower for some reason.
No,
I was thinking botanical
No.
garden, and I thought flower named trolls, but then
Yeah.
trolls make sense if they're actual trolls. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
giant.
Yeah, they're really big. I didn't take
That's
any
cool.
photos of them, but they were really lovely there.
Nice time to see those gardens, I bet.
I think it was really nice. I was a little bit like, then nothing's going to be blooming, thinking about my,
Your yard,
my
or-
yard and things like. Oh yeah, everything was really beautiful. Yeah, so. Right.
And I think my blurb is just that my classroom participates in trout in the classroom. So we, from the hatchery, get 100 brook trout eggs in January. So it's through Vermont Fish and Game. We raise them in the classroom, they hatch, and, we learn a little bit about the life cycle and predator-prey habitat and, riparian ecosystems. And then we release them, and Fish and Wildlife tells us like which rivers we can release them into. So we released into the Browns River, 72 brook trout, maybe like 2 or 3 inches.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what did you feed them? And
They provide some food. They say it's just ground up bugs, so it's just kind of like a brown powder, kind of smelly, but yeah. Yeah, so
Wow, that's exciting
It
for
is.
kids.
How old's
It
your
is.
class?
Did you say how old or?
Yeah, how old? Yeah.
So I have 7th graders in Essex Middle School.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember doing that back in the day with trout.
Yeah,
very cool.
At UID back in the day.
Yeah.
We did like fish.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's a popular program.
Logan, do you want to tell us what this
This
is?
is made by Miss Gibson. I don't know if you know who she is. She lives right on New Road by the conservation.
Oh, yeah, Marcy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Marcy.
oh, Marcy.
Marcy Gibson?
Oh, Marcy.
Yeah,
Can we see that?
I'm friends with her son, or her grandson, Caleb. And he used to always wear that bug spray. I was like, I need
New
some.
Road in Underhill.
Is it called New Road in Underhill?
No, it's called Stop or.
No
Stop-
bugs.
Yeah, no bug or something. Yeah.
No bug?
It's
Interesting.
really nice.
So
Like it
We
works.
never had any
Yeah.
bugs, and you were always.
Yeah, I was like, I
envious.
need some of that. And it has all essential oils in it. You say just rub it on your skin, it makes your skin really soft, and it smells good.
Oh, it smells,
And that's diluted too.
it smells so good. There's something in here that,
It's like the lemongrass.
I guess it
Yeah.
is.
I need to buy some more because I took
Where
that.
did you buy it?
Well, I just went to her house, yeah, with Caleb
house?
one time. Her
But she
grandson.
must sell it somewhere.
She must sell it to places.
Who
I
wants
don't
to
I
know.
don't
come to her house?
Oh, that
Or maybe the
smells
farmer's market or
so
something.
I have
good.
no clue, but she has so much of it. Like
Marcy Design Works. I wonder if Marcy does more than that.
Oh, wow.
Does she?
She's quite a,
With the herb shooting?
Oh.
Or artist or?
she's quite handy with the computer.
Oh,
Like
really?
you and Lori.
So Marcy Gibson makes no bugs,
that's
insect
Yeah.
spray.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh,
Hey, that's your conservation bite.
yeah, that's really interesting.
Pretty cool. That's right next to it, sir. Yeah.
It's lovely. Did you sniff it, Betsy?
Yes.
It doesn't come with this bag, but like it's.
I like the bag
You could make the bags for her.
Right?
Some money.
Just in case it like pops off or something.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
I know. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
I just thought of that when she brought up the bug.
Yeah.
Do you have a bite?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Can't really think of anything. Can you think of anything? What we've been doing lately?
I mean, the cabin.
It's costed by bugs in your yard,
Yeah,
maybe,
we
or
Yeah.
no?
No, I mean, you were talking about the invasive species. Like, it makes me wonder in our cabin up on Downs
No,
Road.
I don't really see.
We have,
Because we have so many glitter.
like, the vine. Like, I don't know what the vine is. I've got to, like, research it. But it's like,
Oh yeah, I see them fields.
anywhere you walk through the woods up there, you're tripping on this. Like,
It's
Oh,
all-
is
it's
it
all
a
like one
horse
plant.
farm?
it's like
No, it's-
terrible. It's all over
It's like
the-
one thing. It's all
ground,
one.
and
It's
it
all interconnected. I believe.
goes up trees and it goes on, it fills up
yeah.
everything.
Oh,
So
really?
it just made me think,
Yeah.
like, I really should do some
Maybe
research this summer
You
of
could
what it is and
shoot
if there's a way to get rid of
photo
it.
or
It's
something of it.
Yeah.
all over up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it or.
And it has leaves. It has leaves, but it's like,
Does it have thorns?
doesn't have thorns.
I think I know what you mean, Heidi, and the stem gets pretty thick and intertwined
And it's
going
like,
up.
yeah,
Yeah, and you
and it
can't,
grows fast.
and you
And it
can't get it
grows
off of, like,
in
out of in shrubs. and you-
buildings. Yeah, it's hard to get off
Yeah.
of.
Well, I
Jimmy
can't remember what the, no,
Oh, well,
Worse than that.
I don't remember what the
Yeah.
name is, but I'll do some
Tenacious.
research and
Get
tenacious.
the app,
No, no.
the app that you can just scan them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
see what it is.
Yeah, that'd be really-
yeah, it's all over up there in that area.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for little updates and bites. So, our next agenda item is Logan.
So my ideas for something for my Eagle Scout project are like, this is the first, I don't know if you know my the Eagle Scout process. So first I have to come up with an idea or something that I want to do. It fits like a whole thing, like we have a binder full of pages that I need to fill out and requirements. And part of that is finding an organization that helps my community, like the local community. And I need to collaborate with locals and my fellow scouts, and my role is to kind of guide others to do the work and fundraising and stuff, and I just come up with the ideas mostly. And some of my ideas for the conservation was, I don't know if you've been up to Mills River, you probably have. In that area by the barn, underneath their picnic tables, they have rocks, just so it's less maintenance for people. And so I was thinking just having some scouts perhaps dig an area for level and then put like the no weed stuff, and then some rocks and some dirt, and maybe some like little clovers or something that'll grow in between the rocks and look kind of cool, just like sprinkle some seeds, but so it won't grow up super big and get in people's way if they want to eat there, and they'll have the rocks as well. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in having up there, as well as some signs. Perhaps I was just thinking this is like a possible. I can do tons of different things at school.
You did that?
Yeah, I made this. Those are I was just thinking for like the main ones. Like that would be a looper, like going around the outside or something, like the whole loop.
Wow.
Those are spectacular.
This was a miss one, and these are just my rough things. They're not finished. And then for just like sign, like insignias or trailblazers like this, something like this. What I was thinking is I would notch it, like the notches by the stars
Yeah.
or something, but it would still have like the white wood, and then I'd tie a rope around like the tree, so then it's not a nail into it, because it's supposed to be a conservation. And if anything, you loosen the ropes, and it'll like just grow with the tree instead of like either growing into it or having a nail.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
You know, this is sort of neat to when some of the trails have to stop because it becomes private property, but this is sort of very.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
nice
No
idea.
one.
Oh, that's a great
And I can
idea.
do it bigger too. but
Wow.
Oh, well,
I don't know what you'd be
That's-
interested in.
that's all outstanding. We are not, however, the Mills River side, that's Jericho.
Jericho. Yeah, no, it's just an idea like them.
Oh,
I don't know if
oh,
it's
yeah.
something.
No, he doesn't want to do Jared. Tell him
No,
where you
you-
want to do it.
I want to do it up at the Crane Brook.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I thought, but I thought
I was
maybe
using-
this
no, I was
was
using that as an
your
example.
number one idea would be, oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
Like what they
my.
have over there is what I was thinking I'd do it up here. I just, for a perspective, if you'd seen that up there.
And your goal is that the grass grows up under the picnic table and you're
Yeah.
making
And there'll
like
still,
a picnic table platform or a
yeah,
picnic
it'll just be
table
like,
spot.
and like less maintenance, so you don't have to like constantly move the picnic table to a new space and like
And
trample
we back.
down.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll just be like one spot that you just go around with a mower or whatever.
Mm.
And then you have like clovers and people could look for 4-leaf clovers or something, I don't know.
Mm.
Good. Yeah. And with that, are you gonna use the existing picnic table, I think?
I was
or
thinking,
you're-
that one seems pretty good, it seems pretty sturdy. I don't know, I could fundraise if I get enough money. I work at Jerry Hill Ace Hardware over there.
Oh, that's
So,
where I've seen you
Yeah, so
before.
I can get discounted lumber and I can get lumber pretty easily to build a picnic table. But as part of my Eagles project, I need to fundraise and acquire all my materials with like in the steps of my Eagle Scout. Like I have to record it all and keep track.
Oh,
Mm.
Great.
I think Betsy has been working on thinking about sign design and the like for the conservation district, so I think she's got some ideas. And I, who happen to be a little bit pessimistic in life, would just throw out this, that they're so attractive that someone might steal them. That would be my only concern, if you tie them on, that those are gonna be taken before you know it. So I might have to order like 3 times the amount from you, so they can be
That's true.
replaced.
Or I can use, all you really need is like the blazers, because I notice you just have a lot of the flagging around, and this took literally 10 seconds, if that, to make this little thing at school. And if you would be interested in just like a bunch of little markings like this, that you guys could even keep for future use of trails or markings, but I'll go out and mark it on my own originally, like to just help with your trail system, if that's of interest.
I think we would agree that trail system needs
Yeah.
signage, and the question would be whether it's something simple like a different trail. Do you have other options for,
I can do pretty much anything.
so are trails marked by symbols, like there's the star
that
trail,
would be
or
helpful.
by, half circles or
No, it's-
whatever? or-
It'd be really easy to just update the map, like what you guys have, by just switching it, and I could easily design that on pretty much the same stuff I did this.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what you're interested in and what you'd want, and if I would have permission to do this as a possibility. My Eagle Scout project.
I'm definitely interested in signage because that's on our to-do list for
And
sure.
this would all be
Yeah.
fundraising taken care of cost-wise by me. It's just, I just need the approval and support. Of
What's your
Jason.
timing for all that?
So right now, because this is the first steps, I haven't really come down to a specific point because I need to figure out how much money I need, like what I'm doing first and all that. But hopefully I will have this all done and I'll have my Eagle Scout by the end of the summer. So this summer is the time frame, hopefully early summer though. Yeah.
And do you think that it would be best for you time-wise and fundraising-wise to focus on one or the other project you mentioned too, the picnic table and the sign?
We have so many people in my troop. It's for management of people. It's easier on my behalf for more work because I can't have everyone doing one thing and bickering the whole time.
The son of a business owner.
They'd get less done all being in a big group on that one thing than if I had them going around and tying this up.
So I'd like to suggest that we could imagine the picnic table as a definite get started with Stone idea.
That'll just be like so I'm good to do. That'll be like, we'll do it in one day. It'll all get knocked out.
Yeah, and I think we need to do a little figuring on signs, and then, either, and then get back to you about that. Does that make sense?
I think everyone's very interested.
Yes.
It's just, how would we display it? Do we want an arrow with painted number on it or a symbol on it? Or do we want you to carve in the symbol? And where do we want them placed so that people, do we want them placed somewhere with an arrow or, I think Betsy's been noodling on that. And so if you could pause on that just a little bit and we would gear up and try and figure that out.
Yeah, but the only issue with that is my school's ending on the 18th, and that's where I have access to the laser
right. Okay.
and this. But my finals for my woodworking class, it's pretty much all taken care of. So up until the 18th, I can work on that openly in the shop.
Okay,
And
so
just get knocked out.
let's talk, hold on.
But what's interesting though, I mean, even if this one, we could,
Next
if we
Tuesday.
chose the Star
Right.
Trail or something, you could do a star here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then for the center, the crossover trail would be something different.
Yeah, like I did
Yeah.
this lettering as an example. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be the name Looper. It's just
This
as
is
an example of the possible letters and the size that
That's
it could
very
be.
nice.
Because
Doesn't
with my the lumber that the school had is like giving away for free to me, this is like the optimal size for the amount of things that I can get, or the amount of arrows.
So could I ask you some detailed questions right now? Like, let's say for instance that Betsy's idea is maybe there's nothing there, but there's a symbol here.
Yeah.
That would be quicker for you to do something like that than actually carve in,
Yeah.
right? Or if it wanted to be painted with letters, we could do that, but you could do the base. You could do the
And
base,
the other
right?
thing I can do is the opposite and inverse of this, where this is just dropped down in, and then I'd just spray paint it with the letter, and then you sand it off, and then like spray with the air hose, and then all
So the
letters
letters
left
would-
is the
I
paint
see.
in the bottom.
So there was sort of black paint on the
Yeah.
inside of the letters. I see
Inset,
what you
yeah.
mean. Oh.
But
That's
that
a
can leave
fancy
like a
thing.
weird effect from the sides.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But it still gives the main the finishing.
So how many symbols like this or the
Like-
star do you have available to you? Are they?
Right now, this is all I have
Templates?
in my hands. These are my templates that I quickly made.
Oh! You
I
made
have-
those.
yeah.
I
have,
see.
A
In this,
Yeah,
something you
these,
did.
I
somehow.
can make up to like probably 100 of these easily in like less than a couple hours.
Of the circles.
Yeah,
Being-
this and then these. Like it really doesn't. It just takes a couple clicks of the button, copy and pasting symbols, and then I send it to a software, put in my piece of wood, and they'll do it.
But you have access to other things than stars and
Yes,
circles.
I
and
can do
I think that's what she was
anything.
asking
Oh,
is,
right.
it's,
What other things do you have access to?
Anything. You think of it.
you think
it
of
can
it, it's all computer based.
be- Like I can, like this is my most recent thing.
So it could be a
If
moon or a
you- if you
sun or
look-
something, okay.
If you look really close, that's, I
Or
cut that out
triangle
first.
or.
I cut it out first with that, and then the letters are pushed down in.
So this is ice track.
That's not something, that's just something, yeah, that, like the letters for the thing are,
Here, the next
In-
one.
here, there might be another better photo.
Huh,
If I had my computer, I could show you my slideshow.
So I'm just thinking, how many different, we just have one set for the rim trail right now, right? That's all we have out there is
yeah,
just the
the
rim.
blue, it's
So
what's
there's-
remaining of it,
Okay.
yeah, so.
Well, and that's the other thing. People like to go up there and shoot the signs off the trees. So maybe if you also had something like right at the picnic table or something like signage for trails provided by local, something
I'm
to kind
gonna,
of,
I'm gonna put, Eagle Scout.
yes,
Like
Yeah.
they're gonna,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
I'll put like the,
something to
something.
be like, someone put a lot of effort into
Yeah,
this and
So
like,
that becomes
don't
a little
shoot them
more
off.
respectful
yeah,
approach.
But I would love some of this for the rim trail and
yeah.
whatever the design is.
And then
We could even say rim on
Right.
the arrow
instead of
too,
or rim.
but
would be
whatever
awesome.
symbol or whatever
I
we
made
wanted
one,
would be fun.
I made one, another example, it had I took a photo and I carved out the outline of Mount Mansfield, and it's on this whole part is, it would be a black etch, like a shadow of Mount Mansfield in the border of the mountains, and then there's just a blank arrow here.
That was pretty.
So how much
Yeah.
time do you
Yeah.
have, by the way? You're supposed to be doing exams or.
Well, this is an exam, this is it.
Yeah, no, I'm already done with my exam. I already did my work. My exam was just making a slideshow of my work in this class. And then my other classes, my exams aren't till next week.
Okay, so
I only
next,
have exams on half the day. It's 4 half the day.
okay, so we have this full week, and then next Monday is the 17th and Tuesday is the 18th.
Mhm.
So what days do you have to work on this? We need to get back to you. So what are the actual days?
Yeah,
This is Monday, so we'll
Up
get,
till the 18th, I can work on these and
So-
I can have them printed out. Is what I was hoping for.
Yeah, so let's say you really need some
Material. to
Tomorrow.
work with.
or
basically.
I don't know. I don't need material.
No, I mean
just needs
some
to know what to do by
Design, you need
information.
designs.
today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean,
ASAP.
Monday the
Some
10th,
So I
so.
was thinking just some basic stuff.
So from us, do you want us to say like we'd love to have 18 stars that we paint blue and those become like one of our side
Well,
trails
you,
or
you
what?
guys don't have to paint anything. You
Yeah.
just have to give me the okay if you want some of these.
Let's
there.
take,
You want-
can I take some pictures?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
find-
Yeah,
And
you guys can just have
Okay.
these. I don't need them.
And I kind of feel like, are we thinking you can just have free reign? Because I'm kind of just like, go for it,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, and like we'll just make sure that maybe we're there when you put them up or something. Just make sure
Yeah,
we
as
get the
part of my
trails right,
process,
or
I have to like come and check through you guys. So the stuff that I'll be doing is, it'll be approved by you. Like I'll bring stuff. The majority of the ideas are like supposed to be generated by me and then like projected and shared with you guys, okayed by you guys, and then I go and put it up.
Well,
so I would say go to town. That's my opinion of like whatever you think would be best after you've hiked it and worked with, our map and the trail.
Mhm.
But that's just me. So I don't know if we need to.
well, I was just thinking it might want more direction, but what do I'm, one of those person who gets into too much detail and then never gets anything done. So, I mean, for instance, if you made 15 of these, but actually we want people to go that way and you can't turn them that side because it's upside down. Right, so maybe you'd have to make,
Yeah, but one's
What?
one, one's the other.
What if we had, these made with symbols that we gave you direction on, like star, moon, flower, whatever.
Mhm.
And you made the arrows,
I was just thinking
And
the
not
arrows
did-
would only be like at the main heading, like one, like
Oh,
like a couple. There'd
and
only
then
be, like,
stay with the
and then
symbol
go like
beyond.
the symbol beyond. Yeah, not make.
Except there are cross places that
Yeah.
are confusing, I think, where you're supposed to go, you need to have arrows on both sides, like the parking lot is that way and the trail is that way, or you need to go straight
I
and not
think it
turn
points in the
there.
general direction and people figure it out, because half the time they don't really look at the signs. Like, how many people do you think really stop and look at that board before they go up to the trails?
I don't look at the board, so that's why they need to look at the signs, I think.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, and I think if we printed some that were maybe, if we had the star shape, right, and we printed it instead of maybe it was just a triangle, and then like one tip of the triangle was painted or something, to kind of, so this way you can put it
Or the
however you
road-
want
or
on the
the
tree,
road
but like
things,
that's
right?
telling the people to go that way or something.
Oh, yeah.
And this way you don't have to even bother with like accidentally having it the wrong way, right? If that half's painted, that means that's the direction. But I'm not a trail expert, So
Yeah.
this is, I feel like this is your thing.
Yeah, like,
I feel like go for it and let us know how we can help.
I just want some possible things that you guys might like for because it's your part or your conservation. You kind of look out and supervise over it. Like, see, you have your own little hidden gems. Or wait, it was you with the flowers, or the slippers, the lady slippers,
Lady slippers,
the
yeah.
secret stash.
Yeah.
I never would have known about that.
That's,
How many trails are there, Lori?
Yeah.
We have, this map is, well, that's another thing, but,
I've only really walked like 3. I feel like there are like distinctly.
yeah, we have like the Link Trail, which is really kind of part of, the behind the kiosk and up through that splits the meadow in half. And then we kind of get into the perimeter trail or the rim trail. The green is the Link, that again is more of like the class 4 road, right? With the,
Yeah.
there's like the well on the right hand side, I think. Keeps going down until you get to Irish Settlement pretty much. And then we didn't have a different color for this one. So then we kind of get into other trails.
and then, we have the regular Crane Brook Trail,
The road.
the old road,
No, that's the class 4 road. Is the
yeah,
problem.
class 4 road.
That's the
Okay.
Oh.
new road.
Right.
Yeah.
New road's the class 4, which people walk down.
So if you want our map, there's a tiny,
Oh,
like a tiny URL to it. So if you just
Can we-
type in
I wonder if I can
tiny.cc
And it does these.
Oh, yeah, oh.
/CBCD map.
So basically, there are three colors. So there are 3 trails,
Right.
basically?
Then we have some crossover ones, that's the only confusing part. When I had the service day kids from the high school, we were cleaning some, for example, from the rim trail school,
Yeah.
the Irish Settlement side, you start going around, and then there's a cutover into the meadow in one place. Nobody really knows, so they don't, they go on it, but they're not sure. And then there's a second cutover that cuts over to, from the rim trail as it goes down
Mm-hmm.
to the class 4 road. So there are like 2 cutovers there.
Alright, I think I typed it in wrong.
And then
Tiny
that's,
CC slash.
Tiny.cc.
Steve made a trail from where it almost ends. Where it's close to where the boardwalk area is.
Yeah.
And that goes down into the garage area.
So instead of a
I don't know
.com,
if we
it's
want to
just
even
.cc.
have that.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have
As
that.
a-
I have that.
Sort of like you're already going in there on the rim, or the Link Trail.
Yeah.
We use some of the same colors for 2 different areas of
It's
trails, right? So purple
It's the same one.
is here,
Just
but then
reading
purple's here.
Okay.
So it's not like a
Yeah,
purple
no, that's fine.
trail. I mean, purple starts.
Yeah,
and
purple
that's
are
it.
the seem to be the little trails.
Mm.
Yeah, connectors is what I think that is, and
So I
then
think our focus
this
is
is the blue one,
probably
right? And then the
green
green is that.
and then the light blue is kind of what we use the most. I don't think I've been on the purple.
Actually,
I have
the
not
colors are
really
sort
been
of
on
wrong.
purple. I think, maybe I have
No,
been. there's like a one over here,
So that's,
and then it just
no,
goes
that's,
down
you're right.
here. It doesn't really come
So
over
the
here.
purple trail, really, if you had a
So,
symbol for this,
have
it
you
wouldn't
been
be
on
the
one where
same
it cuts you
symbol
up?
for that.
Yeah, that's
They're
where
two
I went.
different
I went back
places,
here.
right?
And
They
then I was
connect.
like exploring here.
So maybe,
How
maybe
many
it's
I
symbols
walked
do
up
we
here a
need to?
little bit. I didn't go down.
that would be the question,
Okay.
how many do you think
Explore
we
a
need,
little
like
bit
four,
later.
five?
I've never seen this though. I've biked on this road. I did not see that.
It wouldn't
Like the
matter.
There-
Two
apparently,
French
I-
direction
yeah.
there.
That's honestly a good thing because this one's more
That sounds
obvious.
good.
It's like
And get
If
extras. Like you're
we,
saying, get
It's
extras.
just
if we
Yeah,
had him
extras.
make,
Yeah.
What about
some
Lori's
extras.
idea?
And I would like the fact
Like
that it'll
making
say
this,
something back,
just
let's
making
have
this,
those big
and
ones,
putting a symbol in
because
it,
that may
and
be a
then,
good
then
idea.
it could be whichever
Or-
way,
Some of the
whatever.
yeah,
vandalism.
like on
It
the
actually
on
wouldn't
the
hurt maybe
the big
to
sign at
have,
the bottom.
really,
Yeah,
they
that would be
got
really good
confused
idea.
A couple
And
times
then
where they.
The no
left,
parking
where-
sign at the
so
top.
if we
Does
had
that
like
need to be
double
there?
headed, some
I
double
tried
headed
to,
ones, and we could
Like, because I think that it says on this app how I actually discovered this Cranbrook
yeah.
called All Trails, the All Trails app. It actually says that that's parking up there.
It used to be parking, and when we saw the no parking sign,
But
I'm
I
like,
don't
wait a
want to-
minute,
But why?
that is
Who-
parking,
who-
well, because
I want to be used,
they need an
not-
alternative route
not.
for
So it's
the town
So choose
garage
one, not away from-
folks
Right.
to
Really?
get to Irish settlement,
So-
so it's a,
And then the
You know,
other
and
question would
if-
be though, but
yeah.
I guess.
Yep.
yeah.
how Logan
Yeah,
is
that's-
thinking
Would they
about,
ever clear out more area there so that there
Mountain.
is one parking spot and still access, or no?
I think we can ask them
Yeah.
about that,
There's
because
so
they,
much space.
yeah, they did take our
what
spot.
happens.
Right, and it's
when you
like, we just have to buy a car spot, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you can make it if they even move that fence back. You could.
So you gotta go back.
I feel like over on the left before it gets to the trail that goes the other way. I feel like it's pretty flat back there.
It is.
Start one
It's-
way and
It's,
finish it a different way.
we removed a lot of invasive.
Yeah, I was just about to say I feel like there's a lot of like prickers and sharp things. It's not like pleasant.
Yeah,
Good city roads.
yeah, so we could ask for them to do that, because they did take
Don't have
parking and then didn't, you know, we didn't know.
Mhm.
And it happened, in
Well, let's
particular,
find out if that's okay, or if that has to be part of the project.
I
Also,
remember they were
and do we
talking about it
want
for
to
some
place
reason.
sign
They
or
started
letter
using it for a
gray?
short time,
And
and then decided they better post it and say, no
And the
parking.
symbol
Well, there's like a bunch of
dark,
trees
so
on
whether
down
gray
the
or
road.
just
At
black,
least when I was
or do
last
they
there.
need to be?
Like coming up, so like I was thinking, why is it like in a little secretive town spot, I guess, where the road actually goes down by the back of the garage before coming up.
Oh, oh, I know where you mean.
Last time I was there, there's like a bunch of down
It's going
trees,
to be
and I feel like they weren't really using it.
of your
So like, why did they
So
have
it's
it
going to
blocked
be
up
that
at the
color,
top?
and we would just have to pick something.
It's I know, this is like,
Old historic.
no, well, no, I asked Brad since service day, because that's when we discovered that there was no parking, and the kids that were
Yellow, light.
participating in it
And
were
if
saying,
need be,
I said, and here's the parking area, and they said, oh, really, so there's no parking anymore? There is,
red to attract.
and it
people's
looked really
attention. That's
official,
the
so I
problem
was.
have with low vision.
Yeah, it's because it looks super official. I thought you guys would have known someone about it.
No, someone forgot to tell us.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get,
I am with that, but we've just
Yeah.
talked about, but.
get
Okay.
get the town to do a little parking. Not many people use that spot.
Yeah,
So
I don't
can we
feel-
talk
yeah, it's
about it
pretty
and write
hidden.
it
The whole
down?
thing's pretty hidden.
I mean, bikers, bicyclists
Lauren,
Yeah,
come
it's
through
super.
on Irish settlement, and they know the trail, but we
Yeah.
could have a few
yes, you are.
parking spaces there, and, yeah, that'd be good. I'll talk to Brad about
Okay,
that.
I got a piece of paper
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to go
Okay.
deal with it tomorrow.
And put how many,
But
and
this is really good. I'm quite excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had talked on the phone of possibly you guys being able to build a
when I
little
say
bridge.
for.
Oh, I was thinking bench, but a bridge, yeah,
I
sure.
bet,
A bridge would be.
well, that, oh, well, wait.
You know,
Anything
yeah.
really, I can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
pretty handy.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of materials at my house, just to be expendable. They've just been sitting there. I don't have anything else to be
Yeah.
for.
You need to get rid of them
They
anyway.
can build, Logan
Bridges,
can build
benches.
a bridge that was like in the spot where the little bridge was, walk-over bridge was
I don't
Oh my
taken.
God.
Oh, like the one by, are you talking a bridge across the new road to,
No, no, you don't.
A ditch, a bridge over a ditch.
It's over
Yeah.
a ditch.
yeah, the one by
Well,
Yeah, right
like
there.
right there,
that's-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that,
It's now a little further down.
I was thinking it's super muddy. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do it with a little bridge there.
yeah. And then he said he could possibly do a bench too, up at the top to sit on.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm somewhere.
He's going to go from Eagle Scout to businessman very quickly.
I was just pitching a bunch of ideas.
Or a picnic table, if you want another picnic table,
Yeah.
because
Picnic table.
they
would
do
be
those
really
easily at the
You have
Scoutmaster.
to, you have to watch how,
They
I mean,
crank out picnic tables because they're pretty.
you have to watch how much time you put into things. You don't want to exceed your Eagle
Well,
Scout
the only thing
time.
that's gonna take time for me is this. I have a whole year, and I have no more merit badges and time requirements. I have 2 more merit badges: e-science and what's the other one? E-science will be really easy because like this is environmental science. And this
Yeah.
is stuff,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
affecting the environment.
this will fill us out.
And communications, and this is what am I doing?
Well, this is
Communicating.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Signage is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll do my communications in the summer when I talk to no one and just sticking to work.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
be pretty much-
Betsy, you were gonna say something.
Well, I want to be a little careful about how much we get into the district in terms of, I mean, I'm excited about the bridge. I'm not sure about some of the other things because I feel like it starts having a different feel to it if we have lots of benches and picnic tables and things like that.
I was just thinking we were gonna have, it would only be one bench
Yeah.
and it's up looking out over the meadow. But it's up, whatever, anyone.
But
By the
I'm
fern-
wondering
by the
if-
fern area maybe.
we want it, yeah, and I'm not opposed to it, I just want to be watchful of how much, so it has still
The natural feel.
contain its natural feel. And the other piece is I didn't know if we wanted a place on the Irish settlement end where we could post our ethics sign, which is basically, about not having fires and not camping and pick up your own dog poop and, not necessarily a big kiosk like the one that's at the main.
Just like a mini bird. I
Yeah.
could put that on my agenda.
We also want to put signs by Eagle Scout.
Yeah,
Right.
that could
Don't
be,
you dare steal them.
that could be part of my thing too. I could put up like a little thing like that. A box. Or
Oh, like a cupboard,
just
like a
something
little,
so it'll
little,
stay
little
covered,
roof
yeah. So it won't get rained on.
Like great.
People to-
Yeah,
I
that
can
would
put
be
that on my
lovely.
thing, yeah.
So,
And up there, would should I think about stuff like just using rocks for putting in to keep it natural, or like concrete? Probably just rocks.
Rocks.
Yeah, just rocks.
and I mean, yeah,
What, are we talking about a signpost?
no,
No.
we're talking about
Well, I was
like
thinking
a little,
she was thinking like the little box for like
no, how they have it.
advertising the ethics, right?
the
Right.
So
trailhead.
you can put the
Like a
paper on.
trailhead, right.
Oh, I was thinking like put the papers on, like maybe a piece of plastic over it, but you guys can like just like slide it off or something. Like you pull out a board, it slides down, you pin stuff up, and then you slide it back up, slides it
Oh.
under.
Wow,
what I
we
was
could do it that way. Betsy's been laminating things, so to
Yeah,
put those
yeah,
up, so
yeah, you
that
can just
kind
do
of
that
works
too.
too. It's
Yeah.
probably a little less expensive to do it
Yeah.
that way.
If you imagined, like a little roof thing with
Yeah.
maybe this 3 inches thick
Mhm.
or broad,
Mhm.
and then a flat background that the posting of the sign could be put on a post, something as simple as that.
Yeah, I can.
Betsy, is it this sort of thing?
Yeah.
That you wanna, like, this kind of
The state
thing?
park sign.
Yeah,
State park.
you know,
Right.
that sort of thing, right?
Oh, should we do a sign sheet like that?
That sort of
No,
thing.
no,
no.
That,
no.
Yeah,
little-
sort of.
You don't
Yeah.
need it there.
Because
Yeah,
we
that
don't-
would be nice.
We're not really,
Nobody's
Well, no, it'd be
wondering.
cool though.
we're interested in having people come and be there, but not necessarily.
Not leave a mark. Yeah. Okay, so that's-
Betsy, you know what else you could
That's
do?
my opinion.
Is you could send some photos to Logan of what you're thinking about for a sign structure too, not just something I flash at
Yeah,
him
see
right
the
now.
sketches. Some of I can if you do sketches.
So can you
Yeah.
write
Oh,
down
she's
how
doing
many of
symbols.
these? So I think what Betsy is hoping is what Lori was talking about making just this and having this rim here and depressing this. And I think that Betsy's also talking about symbols and painting different colors in here. I don't know if you can do that, or we
Yeah.
would have to do that.
So, no, I would do it. I would do everything.
Yeah.
Just looking for the ideas. And so to do that,
Could we buy little paint, is it that you paint by hand sort of thing? Like we
Yeah.
buy paint at the store at Jerry Hill and,
so what I would do to do that is something, if you wanted it like this,
say we want that red, say we wanted this spiral red.
spiral red, I would start by, it's like this, just digging out the spiral, and then spray painting it, and then sanding it all off. And then
Oh,
you just have the spiral inside with the red.
oh, I see what you mean.
Or vice
But-
versa. You
Okay, but that wouldn't have this rim around here now, right? Because if
No,
you've got to
yeah.
sand it, it needs
Yeah.
to be then flat.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
If
rim,
that fits for you
yeah.
to do it
The
that
rim,
way.
the rim was harder. This was an example of, I was just trying to make it pretty complex.
Yeah.
So then you could see all the possibilities
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah, exciting
It's
possibilities.
an exemplar. And these are, that's why they're not cut perfectly right now. They're just
Yeah.
like
Well,
Quick.
that's,
quick,
Here's-
dirty.
This is just quick thoughts. There would be symbols that won't have to be worried, you don't have to worry about which direction they are because they'll be symmetrical.
Yeah. Like the oval
Yeah.
star, or just spiral.
This being
There.
different than that. As
Even that with that picture, I can use the software just to depict.
You
Like
can
it'll trace
take
it out.
this
Yeah, we'll give
and
that
then
to you.
with colors like light blue, orange, red, yellow, and light green. And they would be then something that we would have to plan to organize our map better so that we know where they're best.
Yeah.
Would it be helpful if we bought the spray paint colors and gave them to you?
I mean, you can do that, but that's part of my thing is fundraising and coming up with
I think you guys should do it
written
all.
means of
Oh,
in order
planning
for it to
and
count.
facilitating
Yeah.
it for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, can Betsy go down to the hardware store in Jerry Hill and pick out the colors she wants?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely could. Yep.
And
And you guys have my email if you want to send me designs or
Yes.
anything.
And he works there on Sundays if you're there on Sundays.
Yeah.
Give him the paint chips that you want.
Sundays.
Because he makes the paint too.
But you'd be spraying them, it's spray paint.
Spray paint, or we can do the other paint, but I think.
But that's, yeah, then you have to
spray paint,
make
I
a
think
cord
spray
and
paint's
it's,
gonna last longer because it'll soak right into it.
yeah.
I mean, you could get acrylics and then go over with like a finish of some sort of like epoxy's not even that expensive for just the top side of it anyway,
Polyurethane.
or polyurethane.
Yeah, but you have to make at least a cord if you're mixing a color that you want, because then
No, we
it's
have
hard to
samples.
mix.
And
Oh,
I
really?
can, there's a bunch of oopsie containers in the back
Oh,
where people
so
have
we could choose
some
colors
of
from
them
that.
are, they're even like they're just blank bases and they're white and they're still can be mixed, but they might just have like a dent in the side of them or like it's cracked or like the label got ripped off and we just have to throw them out and get rid of them, but I can still use them perfectly fine. And
That's
Kevin,
what you're doing on
So
Sunday.
you working this Sunday?
yeah.
So I could come and we could chat about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many of each one of these do you think?
well, I think that's what we need to kind of walk around and see
Well, I was
how many.
thinking-
I'm gonna
I was thinking
suggest
one, like,
15.
15 of
I
each.
haven't looked at this, but one like
Yeah. Well, I think that's
Get
fine. I was
extras.
thinking for the
Yeah.
river
Like really
trail,
good extras.
that way,
Wow.
that way.
there were places
Here.
when I was with the kids,
Even you could do like
Where-
one this way, one that way.
we went the back, what I call the backwards way to go. So I was doing it backwards, not
need to
going up
Do
to the
you wanna,
meadow and
like,
going
what's
around and,
I
you know,
mean,
when you
I've
come
really
to
only
the
explored
private
over here.
property,
You
then
could just,
bearing right.
Oh,
Like my route
We
is
were
like
doing it the
through
other
here.
way, but when you
I
do it
walk
the
up
other
behind
way,
the kiosk.
it's not even really that visible.
well,
Right.
there's very little,
Yeah.
I've never gone.
so I was just
So
thinking.
it's
how
just
many
making
more-
on both, like you're heading in one direction, there's a little,
Going down this way,
there's a
getting
little
on this
triangle on
private
one side of the
property,
tree, and you
where
can see
it's
the
like
blue
you're
heading in the
here.
other
Yeah,
direction.
because you can't see it
On
One,
the,
from the other.
two,
so that's a good point.
three,
Would you select one for the river
Yeah, this
trail?
part
Would
gets
you
a
want to
little
do that and then
far.
order double for that?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I was thinking this one,
yeah.
since
I'll just do like 15 to
it's
be
a
safe.
rim,
Because
Oh,
it
nice.
circulates around the center.
And this isn't intended to be
And
circular,
And
this
if
is
you went
open.
out there, you could
Yeah.
count
Right,
how
okay.
many we have. have, you know? And
Could be 40 of these.
Okay.
Do you think 20 in one direction is enough?
I think it's enough. I just wanna,
Yeah,
yeah,
a good
we
point.
need more than 10.
yeah, that's right. And for all of them, maybe,
There's some of
maybe
them,
like instead of 15, it's 20 or
some
something.
of
Trying
them
to
are
pull
short.
the internet really quick
Right.
for the map.
Yes, of course.
I'm just thinking, you know, I think all we really need is the rim trail. Like we have this purple trail on there that I've never been on. Is that still a
I've been,
trail?
yeah, that's the one that goes to,
I feel
that
like
was the one I got lost on.
Right. Is it the
Right.
Because I've
connector?
only ever been on like
That
blue.
purple one, right here.
Because I'm kind of like thinking maybe
see
we
that.
only
Oh,
need
sorry.
one symbol and one
Okay.
color.
Oh,
Let's focus
you mean
on
this.
the
Yeah.
Those are the, excuse me, those are the shortcuts that we were trying to limit the,
Any way you want.
one of these purples because we didn't want to have as many, we didn't want the birds that are doing their bird thing right now with their nests and laying eggs and everything. We didn't want it too overgrown with like a million trails. So that's what one of them is. The other purple one though, we
I've been on
we
this
took.
one. I think I've been
Is
on
that-
one.
You can take
Now
that.
that I
That's,
think about it,
So
because-
like you get to the picnic table and you go just a little bit behind it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
to the right
You know,
immediately.
I came in
This is
at
definitely
it this
trail.
way, is now how I'm remembering it.
Mhm.
I rode my bike up this way, and there's like a bunch of rocks there.
So there are
And
these
then over here
places
is
where we
there's
need
like a
double
well,
arrows, I
I
think.
believe.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
what do we have on the double arrows?
Over
Is
here,
that
I
something
feel
maybe
like-
you can give Logan
Or maybe it's
later,
like
maybe
here.
think through that on
It's kind
Sunday?
of like a.
Like his
Oh,
final.
as if
Okay.
one
That's
side
as
is
far
one.
as it. And then I was like,
trail.
all right, I
I
don't know
just
where
meant
the
when you
trail
come
is.
to,
And then I walked
when you,
back.
yes, that is what I mean.
Now.
When you come to, you know,
Yeah,
a
it's kinda
cross trail and you wanna do,
It is.
or one is even the parking lot.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
one is a, you know, and I don't know how you do for that, because I came up to that, I butted into that main that goes from the parking lot to Irish Settlement,
Mhm.
and it just had an arrow going this way. And I thought, oh, I think I'm supposed to go back that way, but it says I have to go this way. So I
can-
went that way, and then I had to,
Also, specifically on the backside ones facing towards the parking lot instead of out towards, I can do a little a P symbol sending towards the
oh,
vehicles,
yeah.
Oh,
and that
Like-
could.
That's right, they do P in a circle
Yeah.
or something for
Yeah.
parking. Oh.
So I would say, in my opinion, again, and I would like to say, just like free reign go. I would say like maybe we just stick to one color and one symbol and just focus on replacing the perimeter trail markers that are, you know, the ones that were there and they were starting to fall off. So the blue and brown
And
arrows.
then maybe like a couple pointing to the center
Mhm.
table area.
Yeah, maybe like this
Like
cut
a
through.
mountain. I think the mountain.
Right. And it could be that you
So-
use the word meadow, right? Or you use like the word parking, right? To, if we're not sure
I'm like
what we
imagining-
want to call this like green little
I'm imagining
cut
that
through
beautiful-
trail, you know? Maybe right there it just says to the meadow, to Irish Settlement, like maybe using
Like
markers
painted on it, or-
that people might know.
You depict the meadow.
How do you
Just a
do
lot of
that?
lines,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know. Right, or instead of it says Looper, it just says
Meadow,
meadow.
parking,
do we have,
Yeah.
picnic table.
so it would be just the rim trail?
So
Would
in other
that
words,
be
just the blue
inclusive?
one,
Well, but then
the green?
the crossover trail, we need to, I think we need to
Is that
have.
the
The green
green?
in the middle here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that would be kind of like a back to the meadow or, right,
yeah. And then the purple ones,
I don't really know. I think I gotta explore those a bit more and go do some more in-depth
Yeah.
reconnaissance of the landscape.
and,
And look out for those flowers. I wanna go. For
yeah,
those
this
flowers.
is one
Yeah.
that is,
Are there some?
they're like
I,
right.
I noticed on here
Okay,
when you
seems
zoomed out,
awfully long
there's
for
like
what it
more
really
bogs
is.
and stuff up,
oh,
up
yeah,
the
I
road.
know what, I'm just
Like,
thinking,
that's also like protected at land by the park.
it is another
Oh,
trail.
that's
I guess it cross country
big
skiers. I don't cross.
But
country
it's all
ski
part of the
there.
reservation.
No, there's,
So I think
So
Lori's
much
thinking
ends
just to
right
leave
after
that
that
to people
muddy
to figure it out
area where there
themselves.
used to be a
And
bridge.
maybe that
Pretty
will
much
cut down
that
on
right
traffic
People
there.
using it.
then you end
Right,
up
yeah.
being
But I personally would think
private
that you would
property
want,
and you're not,
you want the
one is
green
not
mark,
Definitely.
but not
I mean, you
just
could
with
walk
the
the
double
road,
arrow,
right?
because
You
you
can't
might
go
be
off.
just
So if you
walking
stay
in
on
that, so
the
wouldn't you
trail
need
until it gets to,
signs
is it
along
Fuller
it?
Road?
You know, like
Yeah,
if I
you'll
wanted to
see
go
that
the green
there'll-
trail, I
there'll
could
be
be going
notices
here, I could
telling
be
you
hitting
to-
it by going
Yeah.
that
not
I would
here.
check
or-
that.
Right.
you know, and hitting it,
I
so you
saw
want it
on
like
the
both
stone wall,
ways,
it's
right?
clearly
Oh, yeah.
not supposed to go
Okay,
across,
yeah.
but-
So that's when you two meet, the green trail.
So-
Probably want both directions because it is that crossover.
Yeah.
So Lori, how about the blue, the light blue and the green one?
Yeah,
Let's do those two.
Yep.
Okay,
And then at the green one, it would be helpful to me at all the places, just because I don't actually know these trails, at all the places where I'm walking on the green and the blue one comes off, I'd like to know that that one is blue, but the green continues that way. So I'm hoping that there are markers that show that I can keep going on green, or I can take the blue in that direction. And then when the blue butts up again, when I'm coming with the blue butting up against it, I like to know that parking is that way and whatever, Irish settlement, or the green continues that way. You can do green, continue that way. And those could be, I suppose, two separate triangles, like one with the P going that way, and then another one below it with the green continues in that direction when I abut
and
the
you're
trail.
holding that so that the
Um,
triangle is just, this part is the sign.
Yeah,
It's the
I'm saying
symbol.
like, what if it was just the triangle?
Mhm.
You know, this has the P for parking, forget about the leg, and this has the green showing if you want to continue, if you want to go on the green, go that way. If you want the P
I
for
sort of
parking.
like
Does that
the
sound
legs.
okay?
I don't even want the legs on those, but.
For the arrows?
Yeah, just for those, not for the,
It could. Then you have to figure out how many you need. I guess it'd tell them, so the idea was
I
that we
think
just
I
go.
just gotta go up there and take some photos and see where there's some possible, like some good trees and which
Yeah.
way people
Yeah.
are gonna be looking and what catches like people's eyes and where's
Yeah.
like the good perspectives.
Okay, so now that you know the idea, maybe that would help
Yeah.
you out,
Yeah, and I've met with you and talked about my idea. And
which
actually
sounds
take the next
fantastic.
step forward on my project.
Sounds fantastic.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you get the idea.
So, should we still meet on Sunday?
Yeah, come into Jerry Hillius.
And we're gonna work on two symbols, two
Yep.
symbols.
Yeah.
And we're
Two
gonna,
symbols and parking with a, maybe P with a circle or something like that will be,
Yeah, and if you, if there's any symbols in specific, if you want to email me them in the next couple of days, I can.
and what's your email?
LOGWEENOSKI@gmail.com.
So, and you got the itinerary, so
Yeah, I got the itinerary. It's in the system.
somebody
Like,
mailed it out. You mailed it
is
out.
that,
I mailed it out, I
Okay.
mailed it
Yeah.
out, so you have all of our emails.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
have all your stuff.
And we have his, it's in the
Oh,
email,
oh,
yeah,
oh,
might have
right,
missed
oh,
it.
right, I saw that.
yeah, it's in there. And I can send it out, that's.
okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I have it here too, but,
Yeah.
so two symbols and P for parking and M for meadow, or are we?
I was thinking, I just had the idea of maybe like putting like a makeshift street sign saying Meadow Lane or something. Like mainly on the way up from the bottom where it's kind of like that road.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's cute.
yeah, that
Like
is,
only when you get on the road, like when it goes through the meadow is what I was thinking.
Is it, but
And then-
can you,
And then on like the back side of it, I could easily put like an arrow pointing to parking or something. Like it would be like off. It would be like probably on a small tree or something. I'm thinking.
but here's the other thing though, Betsy and I were talking about, maybe you guys disagree. I do have a concern about
theft.
your using
Oh, yeah.
twine or whatever that somebody's just gonna cut it and rip it
Yeah.
off.
That's-
So would
Yeah,
would
I feel
everybody
like
be
that's not
comfortable
worth it.
with
That's-
screwing it? I would hate for somebody to steal all your
Yeah,
signs.
fix.
After you-
I'm wondering
Also-
if you didn't use string, but you used, well, someone could cut the wire.
Yeah,
Because all that, what happens with a tree is its bark just grows over the wire. And
Right.
it's there.
but then how do you get a wire to not go, how do you attach the wire to this? What would you feel about using a screw and drilling through?
Yeah,
How does everybody
yeah, I
feel
could do
about that?
I'm okay.
So, okay, I just want to go back. So I just want to make sure, I guess we do, with the blue, it goes around the perimeter of the net. This is cut in the summer.
Yep.
So this is a path here that's definitely seen.
I
And what
see.
time is a good time
Good.
for me to come?
good.
Morning?
We're open 9 to 4. I'll be there 9 to 4. So anytime. Probably not around like noonish though.
When
That's not
people are
eating
taking
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I know this is just a small detail, but if you were to screw this onto a tree, how would you do it? Would you put a screw right through the middle? Because-
No, I'd probably come in from the side. It's pretty.
You would?
I'd
Okay,
probably do a couple on the sides.
okay.
Or like one
That's
going
a
up
pretty
probably and
close.
one going down. Yeah.
Because I was thinking screws might
Yeah.
rust over time, and is that okay if they
Also,
rust on your?
possibility is we have at my house we have sheet metal and metal, which my dad has a plasma cutter and I can plasma cut designs. Like he's made maple leaves
Oh,
or something, and that could just be, and that would be really easy if you could screw it, because no one's gonna, or maybe someone would take that. That'd be easier to screw because it'd be flat. And you just use a washer. I don't know. I was thinking. I just had the idea for a possible sign using metal.
Why don't you take a hike this weekend up on the Mount Mansfield trails and on the long trail and go take a look and see how all their signs are.
No, theirs are like that. Theirs are like
See
that,
how
but
all
then they're filled with
No, but
epoxy.
see exactly how they're tied to trees.
oh, how they attach them.
How are they
Oh, yeah,
hanging
they look
on?
like bolts.
What does it
They're
look like?
huge, like 4-inch bolts with rivets and big
Oh.
old washers on the sides.
I didn't want anybody to
How,
take the
how did you put them up, Lori?
We hammered it
They're
in.
a little
Oh.
thinner than
Yeah.
that wood they're holding,
Yeah.
I think.
And you
right?
hammered them in?
Yes.
Oh, I think I would have
With
screwed them in,
drillers
but
and
hammering
Yeah.
is.
No,
might
we-
put
We screwed them and we hammered them in.
we
You hammer
screwed them, didn't,
I think you s-
Craig have
Craig,
a
drill.
Oh,
Yeah.
drill is, was that Was
Yeah.
that a, really? Okay, and for the other ones though, I know that Howie and Nancy and I did
Mhm.
so he had a drill, that's right,
I think so, yeah.
yeah. I
And
certainly,
I might have some stainless steel screws.
And you can look at some other signs that are around. Maybe you need to go with thinner wood.
Yeah,
Maybe, I mean, you're gonna be buying all the wood anyways, so maybe it's pressure treated wood. Maybe it's like,
Yeah, I could get pressure treated. It's hard to work with though.
it is,
Yeah.
you gotta wear a
it is
mask.
very hard to work with.
yeah, you know.
Yeah,
So we've got 2 symbols, P for parking and Meadowland.
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 Or land, Meadowland. I kind of like Meadowland. That could be pretty cool.
Oh, whatever you said.
have a lane, I think it was.
Yeah, lane.
Oh,
I was
lane,
thinking that like on that gravel road at least. And that'd
okay.
be Meadow Lane because it's going through the meadow.
So that is like 4 colors. 2 for symbols, 1 for parking and 1 for Meadow Lane.
Yeah, I feel like parking is probably blue. That perimeter outcrop should maybe switch it up to like purple. Because I feel like purple is more of a color that would catch people's eyes, and if you want that to be the focus trail.
Although I think people, since it's been blue and some people use the maps, I don't know that they're
might be.
switching the colors gonna get
Oh.
confusing.
If we're gonna do a revamp here anyway, to
Yeah.
change like the names and stuff,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be that big of a, like they would see everything got changed maybe. I don't know what you're thinking.
Maybe roll out a new map.
Right, and maybe if we rolled out a new map, we would get rid of, if this purple trail is not really being
That,
used.
that purple trail is pretty defined and that's a nice trail. That
Or
one,
maybe
I don't know
that's
too much
Or you
about.
could put it in dashed lines too, something on a map to show that it's
Right.
not a permanent,
Yeah, and
and it's not marked. People don't want to mark it maybe because they don't want people going on it.
yeah.
So we're still talking about 4 colors.
I think so.
Yes.
And I think you're meeting with Logan to pick out the snazzy colors.
And maybe using the stuff that's gonna get thrown out.
Yeah, and we can go check at the bargain bin as well, because I'll have a key. And that stuff is premix colors as well.
And you know what? You're probably going to end up using about this much paint in the end for these.
And I've drawn a little picture, not a very good one, of the idea of the
A little signboard.
8-inch. Yeah. Or just, signboard, and I'll get some dimensions for you. And I'll bring them on Sunday. That works.
Wow, that's going to be a see the job. I bet this Conservation Commission has never moved that fast. 8 days,
Well,
beginning to end, a
well,
big project.
I don't know, I think the kiosk, the ones that's there went really
Was it,
fast.
was it 8 days?
Yeah, well, it was pretty fast,
Was it?
oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
That'll be
much.
great.
Exciting. New signage.
Yes.
Clear.
And thanks for
It's
thinking of
predictable, right?
Underhill and not Jericho. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Underhill, so.
A lot of Eagle Scout projects happen at Mills River Park.
Yes,
Lots of
I
them.
know.
Oh, yeah.
And he's,
I've seen that.
And I had like just
Yeah.
discovered it, and I was like,
he's like,
boom,
no,
this is perfect.
we need to
Yeah.
get scouts up to this one so they'll know that there's another park that can do
Yeah.
projects at.
Yeah.
Because it'll be all the younger scouts that are working under Eagle Scout will be up there.
And it's a
Yeah.
shame it's not a camping place because scouts would totally camp there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're afraid of.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the signs, the absolutely no camping in
Yeah.
Fire.
It's actually not really a park either. So.
Yeah, it's a conservation. It says it in the name, so I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's the fine line distinction between,
Conservation park.
we need to protect some of the gems that are here in our little town.
I mean, but it's a shame the one conservation's already kind of been ruined by the town garage.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That was a big bad.
Yeah.
You probably remember, you remember.
I remember the dump, the town.
Yeah.
dump.
The whole back part is just
Sure.
backfill and
I think
was
that was
like,
my every
yeah,
Saturday
I heard the dump.
growing up.
I know.
Going to the
first
dump.
It's really
time, it's
ironic,
like a dump, and I
actually.
That is
had
the
it
most
up, and I go,
beautiful
why did they
view
put a
in
dump?
town. That
With
was,
a-
you
with
know,
a
town
hill.
land.
It's the most
That's where I saw the
beautiful
eclipse.
view
and it
that I've ever
was
Oh,
seen.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't own it, the only one was
That's
there.
the dump.
Really?
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Towns
Good
do that.
choice.
Yeah, good choice. Seriously. And you were the only ones there, you know?
Yeah, because it's like a nice secluded spot.
It is. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Logan. Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start some designs. I'll probably stick. I think star will probably be like a insignia or something, just to,
No.
for easy.
The star and the, the two that you,
The
that,
circle.
I think,
Yeah.
The spiral.
two
Yeah.
So you
super.
could start
Yeah,
with
they
those.
are super.
I
Sweet, if you
I
want.
think this might be the outside one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already have all the wood,
River
like
Trail.
it's all milled and
Vibes.
ready to be.
And so
just-
you understand what they're asking for? Like,
Yeah.
not,
I'm
not
just,
indented.
yeah, I'm
the
just
end.
gonna. And so what I was gonna do is just do the indents and then
Like
we
that,
splash
right.
some paint in it and sand it off and then it'll be in a better looking shape. Than
And
this.
it will end up looking like a
Like some-
triangle.
Yeah.
Right,
Whatever.
yeah.
Whatever you. Yeah. The thing is.
I mean, the finished sign will be a
Yeah.
triangular.
Like the shape
Yeah.
of it will be different.
And I don't think anybody needs it to be as thick as that if you want to get thinner wood, as long as it doesn't
Yeah.
split when you.
Well, I already got a ton of
Do we
this.
want one of
Okay.
these? For
That's
that
a
area
pretty-
where it's like, the trail is, it looks like
Yes.
it goes forward, but
I
it's
think we
private
need more
property.
than one of
We
those,
need,
probably.
one for,
I can make those a bit
We-
bigger too. But the piece of
Yeah.
wood I'm working with is I think 7 inches wide.
we need
And
one,
So,
As
we
much
need 1, 2, at least 2, maybe 3.
3 for the,
Big
just
hands.
for the private.
Yeah.
Yeah,
property.
where it goes in.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Private.
What color would that be? Red, like a red hand or something?
Probably black. I think I would
Black
just do it opposite. I would burn it really aggressively on the black or on the outside here, and then I'd engrave that next time. So then
Nice.
engrave,
Okay.
and then we can probably paint that red, the no walking person
That's
red,
great.
the barrier hand
Yeah.
as black. I think for the
That's
get the job
Yeah,
done.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank
Yeah,
you very
a lot.
much, yeah.
You don't need to hang
Yeah.
around for the rest of our meeting, but you're certainly welcome to.
I'm just gonna pack this one. What's on the rest of the agenda?
It's, the people that are interested in joining the Conservation Commission. And then it's, the walk list of things projects that we're working on. So,
What other
logo.
purpose?
yeah,
Logo?
yeah. The logo, yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
see you
thank
on Sunday.
Yes, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you.
Would you like
Thank
another,
you,
would
folks.
you like
Yeah.
another piece?
I was just
Fred
gonna
on
ask
to
you
go.
this thing.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.
Nice to see you, Heidi.
Thank you.
We need better signage in here.
Yeah, we do. And where is out? And where is the cat? Did something, what
I was
happened?
thinking about that. No, I think he's around there, not around. I just mean if you say the word come.
Okay, I was wondering where the cat tell us
Yeah.
as well. I was a little nervous on it.
Maybe Jennifer took them.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jennifer locked him up in her
Yeah, that'd be nice.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was really
Energetic.
Oh, he's so excited.
Right.
I mean, he's excited about the outdoors and the fact that
That's a more important thing.
and then, and he's talking about, hiking and see, I want to see where this bog is. And I mean, it's very
This is a
cool.
future Conservation Commission member.
That's
I can
great.
tell. Yeah.
He was very, very excited. So.
From my perspective, I was kind of like, go for it. And then, if there was something we needed to tweak, later down the road, we could always do that. That's just my opinion. I'm like, hey, you have the energy and the spirit, like.
Yeah, that's sort of why you're
Go
a
for
teacher.
it, and then we can
That's why
tweak
you're
it
a teacher.
later if it's not quite
Yeah.
our vision.
I didn't want to quite tweak it. That would make it
Yeah,
feel bad.
right.
So if it was a collaboration, he seemed to want
Yeah.
collaboration.
No, he did
say,
want
you
to.
tell, I want to know what you, but then he also has his definite ideas.
Right. Well, and a time crunch too. So,
Yeah, 8 days,
That's a
Right,
good thing.
really like
Right.
5 days.
I
of
know.
work there, Okay.
Okay, so.
Thank you, Betsy, for taking
Yes.
that on. Oh,
Sure.
that's a really turn on a dime kind of thing.
I hope I got it straight.
Yeah. I think you do.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just as long as we have enough so that if some of the signs get lost
Mhm.
or disappeared or.
Oh, there it is.
and then do you have the link to this map that Steve made?
Probably not.
And, maybe it's something that once the new signs are up, we need to revamp this, but
Mhm.
it might be a good thing to just go back to. So it's, the link is tiny.cc/CBCD map.
It's on the Conservation Commission website.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah.
Good.
Should know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I'm
right.
glad it's there.
Yeah, it is, but it's not, you can't enlarge it too much unless you have a smart,
Mhm.
you do it like that. But,
Yeah.
I thought that Lori, maybe sometime you could help us figure out how to put one of those, QR codes on it. So that when you walk
Yeah.
up to it, you can then have it in your
Oh,
phone.
nice.
So you don't have to
When
navigate
you're at the
to
kiosk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Great.
good. Yeah, very exciting. All right. Inquiries. I think that was there just as I think you,
I think we were just talking about people making inquiries of the Conservation Commission.
yes,
And
I think Betsy was going to send out.
Betsy did last month, I did this month,
Okay.
and sent out the agenda. And I did hear from one person who said she would have liked to come, but she's away
Is it Amy?
tonight. Nope, that's Roseanne.
Oh.
And I don't know about the other folks or not, but I wondered, I had put at the bottom that if they didn't want to continue to receive reminders of meetings to let me know at the bottom of my email. So I wondered if we wanted to continue to do that every month or for a while. Do we want to do that? I just did a group email and a blind carbon copy to everybody.
Well, if I know who the names are, I can CC them on an agenda. So then they know what it's going to be about and then.
Sure, I sent them the agenda.
Okay,
That's what
well,
I
if you
did,
want-
but I can, it's a document that we all have access to. And I had sent it out earlier and I can send it out again, to everyone. So why don't I do that? It's a Google Doc
The chart in it, right, of all the.
of the
Yeah.
people.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Follow up.
Right,
I think that's great.
to send something out
To
every
send
month.
something, and
Yeah.
I think it's great if, Penny, if it comes from you and then you link the agenda in, like if you're interested, and I think that that's
Okay.
fine.
And this month, what I did was I said, we're trying something new. We're doing conservation small talk at the beginning of a meeting. And Betsy's going to be talking about peatlands and then the like. So it's just kind of like a little draw. So related to that, could we plan a couple conservation small talks for the next couple months so I can use that for a draw?
We can.
Yeah.
Well,
You'd rather not? Did you not like doing it?
no, it's not that. The small talk, I thought it was really interesting. Maybe it's good at the beginning, but then it really does cramp. It's now 10 after 8. So we have a, it's not that, this project, the trail project took a long time. It was
Right,
good. So I
right.
think that's good, but I'm thinking it just in terms of, do we want to be able to, well, we could try it at the beginning.
The reason to have it at the beginning was because if anybody from the public wanted to join us, they didn't want to sit through the whole meeting.
Yeah.
They could just come for the small talk and it was a
Yeah.
draw. But if you don't like it, we
Yeah.
could not, we tried it. We just say we tried it and then we can forget it.
It does add some spark.
I think I liked it because I think it gives us a little more personality in terms of like, we're interested in the environment. We're not just working on, this brainstorming list, or like we're trying to educate ourselves as volunteers for the community. And I think that's really helpful. Yeah. I think it's good,
Do you
but
think
it
you'd
does
rather have
add
it?
a bit to the,
It adds a lot.
Yeah.
So that's,
And I like that you brought the snack too, because I know Jens said that about conservation. So it's almost like in my thought, whoever has the conservation blurb also brings a small
Who's the
snack to
host
share.
or the
Yeah, the
hostess?
host. So
The hostess.
that's just my thought. So I would love to keep trying it as long as should we have like a clear timer or something to kind of, make sure.
I did time it and Betsy's was something like 8 minutes or 7 minutes.
And then there was a little bit of fluttering of conversation about other things related.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, seriously, we jumped right into Logan, and that was an hour's time.
was.
So what do you think? What do you think? Do we continue it? Do we try it again? And where do we
Sure,
put it
we
on
can-
the agenda?
We'll try it again. I mean, that's fine. But just know at the end, I want to be out of here at a certain time. I don't like long meetings.
Yeah,
That's my personal agenda. It's just keep
I
it
think
kind of focused.
maybe the
Yeah.
small talk, but
Yeah.
maybe not the round table of everybody sharing
Well,
a quick blurb.
Yeah, but that,
I
if
know.
you just do it for 2 minutes,
Right.
that was sort of interesting,
Yeah.
I mean, that was interesting.
I know.
Yeah, I was actually
Good.
watching Heidi too, and she was quite interested.
Mhm.
I know that Logan was.
Yeah.
So, and maybe if some of them watching us on
Yeah.
TV tonight. it would be really
Yeah, where are they?
They're gonna post this on YouTube, right? So
great. Oh, yeah,
Right.
right.
it'll live on forever.
No, yeah, well, let's keep trying it, and then if we have some work that we have to do, we don't have to do that particular, like in October, if there's something that has to go on.
I'm not available next month, so just so folks know, I won't be here for July, the first Monday in July. So I would love if the meeting continues and goes on in my absence, someone else to take the minutes if possible. But I would take on the August conservation talk and talk more about fish.
Oh, great.
Maybe fishing, if that's okay.
Fishing?
Fishing, yeah.
That would be cool.
Do you fish?
Personally, not really. I have a fishing license, but not really. But I'm a Let's Go Fishing instructor with Vermont Fish and Wildlife, so I think that could be really fun.
That's cool to know more
Yeah.
about that. Would be
Yep.
great.
So I'll save it for August. But
All right.
Yeah.
And how about July is when jumping worms become adults and obvious? How about I just do an introduction to jumping worms for 5 minutes?
That'd be great. They're jumping onto our porch.
Are they?
They are.
No.
Well, we think they are. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll hold my tongue.
All right. Good. And Karen, do you think that it's okay to do that right after the public comment before the meeting minutes so that people to give the small talk right at the beginning? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. Well, it was today.
Right.
Well, it was after the minutes because everyone wanted the minutes up at the front rather than at the bottom. The
Right.
last time.
My thought was that we have the minutes to sort of guide us through, Lori takes such stellar minutes and highlights the topics. So I thought they'd be great as kind of like an agenda item, like what's going on with Cranebrook Conservation District? What about the birding event? That's done. What about the mapping committee? You know, like we could use it as sort of a guide.
You know, July 8th, I might not be here either. I might be
Okay.
down in,
I won't be here either.
You won't
You won't?
either? Oh, so
so we'll
then,
cancel July 8th.
all right, we'll cancel. We'll do jumping worms next July. That's the
Oh,
next
no.
time.
Would it make sense to do it in August? Because I'm happy to do the fishing thing in
But
September.
can you do fishing in September
Of
though?
course, yeah.
Really?
Fishing anytime. And it'll just be
Depends on what
a
you're
minute.
fishing
Yeah, so that would be great.
Okay, September fishing?
Yes,
All right.
August, jumping one.
August jumping worms. All right, so does that mean we're canceling, Karen, for July?
Yeah, I think, I'm glad we had this conversation, but I just looked and, that's when I get invited down to my son's house.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's a,
He has a place
is that in the Caribbean or something?
on Long Island,
Oh,
Bellport.
oh, nice.
Yeah. I actually got invited.
Is
They
that-
don't have to go anywhere. Usually I say, I could come on this, all we are doing, which is what they did
Then
actually
you have
last
to,
time.
you have to come now. You've
Yeah.
got to go.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, July we canceled. Then, jumping worms. What do I want to do? Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing any native plant trust exploring for the rare plants.
Yeah.
Because all of the ones that are signed up for have not received permission, you know, you have to get
Oh,
permission to
from
go on
the-
the private properties.
Oh.
And we don't, they're not, it's not like, I just wait to see if it's in my box, in
Oh,
the box, you
yeah.
know. It's not like I can, hey, did the Smiths over in,
mm,
no.
mm. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I could talk about that though, but probably not. I mean, if nothing happens, I won't talk about it.
Well, you know a lot about rare plants. I mean, you've done a lot in the past, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. But we'll see.
Okay, so that's
Not really
October.
true.
It'll be open to whatever you want to do.
And at this point in time, I'm wondering if we want to put the logo on for August,
Okay, so,
because I don't think we'll,
okay, so I'm gonna do, we're doing the next steps actually right now. So, some logo,
letterhead, logo,
yeah.
very exciting.
Truly, with the brainstorming as our next item, I have not gotten to making the crosswalk. Is that what we're calling it? The Google sheet of like the brainstorming ideas and
Yeah,
then they would redo
Because I
them.
thought we weren't, I thought that first we were doing this.
Okay,
This is what I thought we
Okay.
were doing first.
I have been
And then we need to, because what I think before you can even
doing other
do
things.
that is we have to, this is just to take home, this take home, we have to figure out what, I have a document, Google Doc, that you can just add what activities you think need to happen. Because how are you supposed to make a timeline if you don't know what's the timeline for, like what are we doing? So I thought that what we could do is we could all just add in information just off the top of our heads for each one of these items. And then you can, or you and I can, if you want some help with it, kind of dilute what is going to happen, how long will it take, and then we can make one of those charts like Karen had with the timeline.
Right, so what did you say, I'm sorry, I was writing down the
Lori's
things
just,
for the next agenda.
oh,
And so,
Lori's just saying she's ultimately going to make a timeline, you know, like we were looking at, you were showing that graph, right?
Yeah.
Timeline graph. But I was saying that I think we need to do first is, this is what we've decided, basically, proposed we're going to do. And then the sheets after it really come from a Google Doc. That if people just go on to the Google Doc and just add in whatever comes to their mind of what it takes to do some of these, and then that will help Lori figure out the timeline. She's gonna have to think about, you know, trail upkeep, what does it mean? What goes into trail upkeep? And she'd have to think through all of that. So let's help her out by giving ideas about what each one of these things takes.
Yeah, and actually, for example, this one, Crane Brook District, right? We talked about, that was on our to-do this summer, was signage.
Right.
So, but then we'll have to do trail upkeep as another
Right.
step within the.
Kiosk information,
Yeah.
getting a,
Yeah.
Betsy was
Okay.
talking about maybe checking out, getting a header sign, and
Yeah.
so all those things need to be done.
So for this, are we thinking the next steps are, or maybe some homework that
Yes.
maybe hopefully I'll get to this month? Hop onto the Google Doc and think about
Yeah, and
what
just-
we do
Right,
in
just,
terms of like maintaining the CB.
right, each one of these things, like for threatened and endangered species, remember we're noodling on that, what we do, so I have one action item is talk to Karen McKnight about her experience with endangered species, and then there's a Vermont Fish and Wildlife video that we can look at, and then we can talk to Russ Clark, the, road commissioner, but we just have to have ideas to be able to figure out how long that timeline stretches and where it happens.
Mhm.
This is great.
So that's all a Google Doc, and I'll actually send out that link to you again. So that's the homework. If people would just kind of, when you think about things, just, or think about things, and just every once in a while type on it.
Yeah. So this is a question,
Sorry, dear, what?
in terms of, this is a question. Here we go. With invasive species, we had the Crane Brook, and then you and Steve and I put down the mesh in the gravel pit. Okay, where we put down the mesh, it's growing, but it's only this high. It doesn't grow, but outside of it, it's spreading. And what's scary is it's now sent rhizomes underneath so that, how the road comes up the hill to get, and I'm seeing little plants now coming up.
Oh, my.
So,
So are you saying more or less it's turned it in one place, but it's just moving? It's
Yeah.
moving in other places.
it's
Is that
moving,
basically
well, it's
stretching out in a different place?
Well, it's expanding beyond the metal mesh, which
Oh.
does work. It's just, how far should we have bought mesh to put out so that it wouldn't go seeking
Yeah.
a space? But then, as going down the hill, I'm noticing new sprouted knotweed coming up where there was none.
Mm.
And so it's next to the, I rode Pippin over there and I was looking, it's very easy to spot invasive species when you're on a horse. Yep, so.
So do you think that there's a connection between, do you think if we had never put the mesh up, that it would have spread out in that direction anyways?
I think it
Okay.
would have
So it's
anyway.
not,
Yeah.
it's not like it's avoiding the mesh area and finding different ways
Yeah.
to spread out, it's just, it's spreading.
It's
spread,
and-
yeah. And I don't exactly know if that's our responsibility to take care of that, and what do we do? I mean, digging a shovel, trying to dig it up, or do we, what?
Now, is it this is the gravel pit on Beartown Road?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to go for a walk with me, I can show it to you. I'm
Yeah,
so
I haven't
pleased,
been back there, so
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
I'm so pleased with the fact that the mesh stunts its growth.
And, yeah,
Yeah,
someone, well, stay with the gravel pit, but so we're going with what are we gonna do?
yeah,
That's the question.
yeah. Because that goes into, I'm looking at the invasives plan here.
Mm.
I keep hearing Jan say, don't get hung up on invasives, but that's because I don't wanna,
That's because, and then I keep hearing Ethan Tapper say the most important thing you can do in our environment is to get rid of invasives. So
Right.
you're right. Put them in the ring together.
Well, maybe I can, well, that's not the only invasive there. I mean, but that's the big one. That and Asiatic bittersweet, we just have to really control that, of which we have that at Moore Park, along with the knotweed. They love each other, they live together.
So is the end saying that like as a conservation commission,
Yeah,
for
Okay.
6 people, we don't have the energy?
Right, yeah.
But maybe in that scenario, maybe we get the Beartown gals together with some shovels and like we take care of it as our own subgroup, you know?
Like your neighborhood
Yeah.
invasives,
Neighborhood
invasive
invasives.
group.
yeah, I know, Sue, I promise will definitely do that.
Yeah.
Because she wanted me to take her all around where I've seen the new growth coming, so, all right, well then,
That would be
So,
super
if we could do that.
you could,
Neighborhood.
I
invasives.
imagine jumping worm patrols,
Mm-hmm.
so this could be a invasive patrol, a knotweed patrol, neighborhood patrol.
Yeah.
Well, I just-
It could get competitive too, you know, somehow.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
We picked
Let
up
them
more
most-
knotweed than the Poker Hill
Yeah.
crew. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt this thing, but I'm looking at
No.
this list and I'm
And-
thinking,
Just on that thought, Amy Goladetz has been keeping an eye on the honeysuckle in Crane Brook where we pulled it and hung it up. And she's on top of that, which is great.
Yeah.
And someone's pulled the small bits in our pilot project area along Crane Brook. Pulled up their very thin bits of knotweed.
oh really, I wonder who did that.
I don't know, but I noticed it a couple weeks ago and, it's grown this tall and it's no wider than this pencil. So we definitely did some stunting and good effort in that area.
Yeah.
Stay on top of it, maybe it'll stay away.
So I think if you have any thoughts related to all of this, you could put them on the Google Doc, like neighborhood patrol, like inspiring that, or that would be the perfect thing to have on there.
And that could be a future conservation small talk too, you know, in the
Mhm.
beginning.
Yeah,
And even something like a neighborhood invasives patrol could have be one of those ad hoc committee, like someone here could help to spearhead it, with a neighborhood person, neighborhood people.
Yes. Exactly,
I'd like to add another thing to the next meeting's agenda, if we're at that place.
Yeah.
And that is, the kiosk sign. Some thoughts about that. Come with some thoughts about how to improve what we've got there.
okay. Okay, so when we do that, we'll have Crane Brook, item 1, update on the Eagle Scout project, no, item 2. So, okay, so we'll do it that way. That will fit into one of these blocks with timeline, This is old, this is something I made up in 2018 projects that we're working on.
That was the, you were showing that had different
Yeah.
levels to it. Can I see
Yeah, it
that?
has different levels.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not the literal, like on a graph timeline. That's the
This
written out.
is like this, but I
Right.
I think I did show you
Yeah,
the mark, the
right,
timeline going.
graph.
You have this smaller, you have this, and then you have January, February, March, April, or
Right.
whatever, and then
Right,
an estimate.
and you have different topics underneath it, each
Yes.
having their own.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Just one quick thing, if I could say also about the meeting minutes. Brad and I were talking about meeting minutes and Amanda joined us. And the website's a little screwy on things, but they do post that Lori sends them, the draft meeting minutes and the final meeting minutes. But it's screwy what it calls them. It calls them both the same thing. So in one place in the website, in another place it doesn't. So the idea might be that it would work out best. If you do this in Google Docs, there's a way to put a watermark on it, to put draft. The draft, have you ever used one of those?
Okay,
Lori?
yeah.
There's insert a watermark draft over the draft one. The final, you would take that off. And their suggestion is that instead of having verbiage bottom of the meeting minutes saying how to correct it, to correct the previous meeting minutes, is to just add the corrections in and say red. If it's new, like we talked about Pat Lanphier, like just correct those minutes and put in Pat Lanphier information in red. Or if something needs to be corrected, it could be crossed off with a strike through and then the correction in red.
Why,
For the final.
Whose idea is this? Brad's?
Brad and
Why
Amanda
didn't
and
he
I were
bring it
talking
to
about it.
me, for example?
I was here working for 4 hours this morning and I brought it up to him.
Oh.
That's why. That's why.
Oh.
About meeting minutes.
So
Because
just-
meeting minutes in general interest me.
Just to clarify, so when I go to put the blurb about Pat in, put it in red and then send him like tonight or tomorrow
The corrected. Yeah,
the
and it
final or
would be great, I'm thinking at the bottom of meeting minutes to say corrections in red or something like that. Or corrections, final draft includes corrections in red and strikeouts or whatever, just to indicate that that's the change.
Okay.
That was actually my talking with Amanda about the strikeouts. Brad was saying you need to somehow show, I'm talking with him about DRB and natural resources mapping and meeting minutes in general, how to convey changes in meeting minutes. You have to somehow do it. And I think it's kind of ridiculous to have to go to the next meeting to look at what the corrections were for the previous minutes, just to make them in the previous minutes.
So then in these minutes that I'm currently working on, what I have to say, I would still have to say Penny adds in.
I don't think you have to.
Okay.
I think that's the other way to
I
do
would
it.
just say corrections
That's
are made
either-
in red.
Right,
on
that's
previous
the other
minutes.
way to do it.
Okay.
But then you'd have to go to like the meeting minutes from today to look at the corrections for the last one. Right? I actually wasn't talking to Brad specifically about it today.
My take on this is then she's putting the corrections in the minutes from today. In addition to that, we have to include them in the minutes today because it was part of the conversation.
We don't have to.
Well,
I don't feel like if it is,
I don't know because,
Brad said it has to get recorded. It
right,
has to be obvious what the changes are. So I think if you can make the changes because Karen, here's the deal. If you're working in business, you don't want to have to go to the meeting afterwards. You don't have to keep going forward to look at corrections. You know what I mean?
what my concern is that if somebody wants to see what went on at this meeting, they're not gonna go to the minutes and corrections necessarily. They're gonna wanna know what we talked about real time, today. So
Right.
then it has to appear today.
But
And so if
But
we
you're-
omit it, then we're not being transparent.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the corrections to last month's minute need to be said today so somebody sees what corrections we're making today?
Well, it's just part of the meeting. I'll
Okay.
talk to
You know
Brad
what?
because
No, I think
that
Brad,
one totally
Brad,
confuses me.
no, Brad would agree with you. He just says it has to be done one way or the other.
Oh,
I mean, it
okay.
just needs to be done. To me, it seemed like it would make sense to not have to look to the next month to see what was corrected on the previous month. You could keep doing it that way. To me, it doesn't, it has to be one way or the other.
Yeah,
We didn't make any corrections last month, so I didn't see that in your minutes, how you handled corrections. So I assumed you went back and did it. So I was just trying to say, do it in red instead. But if that's not what you do, if you don't actually correct the minutes from last month, but you just say this month what the correction is, then that's.
Well, no, I do correct them before I send him the approved minutes. I just don't do it in red, but like the Pat Lanphier thing would be in the minutes, because in 3 days, I'll send out these draft ones from
Right.
tonight and the approved ones, but the approved ones will have the changes.
So see, that's the confusing
But
thing,
it's
is
not
when the
like
approved ones
bold.
have the changes, how do you know that's a change unless you compare it to the draft? And then the next month, you'd have to wait till the next month's, the next month's meeting minutes to see how it
how
comes out.
many people will go in and I would never look at a draft and then compare it to a final.
If
If
you
I'm
were,
looking at like the planning commission minutes, I wait until it's approved.
a month later,
Or I'll look, yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
wouldn't,
if
I mean, I don't know, and that's me, but that's how I kind of operate. But.
well,
I-
do
yeah.
it that way, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Just
let's-
conti-
yeah.
Continue to do it that way, it's fine. I think it's a way to make it obvious what was corrected, but if that's, it's sort of up in the, I mean, Brad isn't saying he has this perfect way to do it. He just wants it to be obvious. And to me, it seemed like if you corrected the minutes, you should show what the correction was. Instead of saying what it was a month later.
Well, you can put it in red,
That's just what I was just
but
suggesting. But you want it
in
to
the-
continue to be included in the other, in
Well,
today's minutes.
well, I need to talk to Brad because of other stuff going on.
So Karen,
Yeah.
it's really no different.
That-
Lori continues to do it the way she does it, but just when she corrects it, if she puts it in red, it would
That's
be more
fine.
obvious,
Yeah, no,
right?
that's fine.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
if you just do that, continue to do it. I didn't think it was needed. I'm the one who said, I don't think it's needed today, as long as you correct it in red. Brad didn't say that, but he just said it needed to be obvious what was corrected. So I think you put it in both places, that's great. That would be great. If it's not too much work, if it's too much work, just forget it and just correct it the way you correct it.
Okay. We have other next,
I have just one
Yeah,
last
you want
little thing
yeah,
that I'd love to report because it's neat.
oh,
We gave a very kind and generous gift to the Birds of Vermont in
Oh,
honor
nice.
of Mav. And they're very appreciative. We'll get that paperwork from the museum probably next month, but Mav received Mav
Yeah.
received a note saying such, not the amount, but, so, thank you all for
Oh,
your
good.
contributions to that.
oh, that's right. So she received it from Audubon telling them that?
From the
from-
Bird Museum.
Yeah, from the Bird Museum.
And
Oh,
will
that's
we,
really
will we be doing that again in September? Do you feel like
I
that's
think
it?
so,
Okay.
or something. I
Okay.
think,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be, make sense. I mean, we could always, but we can't do it from the budget, that's right.
Yeah, we can't. Tell me, speaking of seeing her again, do we have Hawks on the agenda, on our, I mean, not on the agenda, on our
We-
events?
Oh,
Or we
on
don't,
the
on
calendar?
the
you mean?
calendar.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, I'll
think so.
talk to Amanda about putting, we'll do, pretty much
Good.
firmed up. So it's, September 9th, and we're meeting at 10 o'clock, is that correct?
The ninth
Yes,
is a Monday.
7th or 8th.
On the
7th and then,
Okay.
at 10 o'clock.
7th or 8th, so that Saturday or Sunday, whatever works out, probably, right?
Right.
Whatever's better.
Or 8th, yeah,
Weather.
and then at 10.
Mhm. And she did, which I am going to get laminated, I copied it and we'll talk to Amanda tomorrow, but she did this wonderful write-up about all the birds that are seen at Brook and those that we saw that morning. And a
Oh,
little history around birding at Brook. That was like,
When did she do that? Well,
she's,
I think she sent it out after that, didn't
she
she?
did, yeah,
did you send it to us?
yeah.
From her, oh, maybe I deleted it because I didn't know what it was. Can somebody resend it?
I'll see
Please?
if I can find it.
Yeah. It's only because, you know, if I don't know who the sender is of my email, so
Yeah, I think I have
I
it,
don't open them and I delete them.
I have it,
Yeah.
here.
Betsy, I have this one that says
It's Birds
Oh,
of
yeah.
Cranbrook.
roots
I'll send it.
parasitism. Okay.
It's this.
Another follow-up.
Is it the one that says good morning, everyone? Oh, yeah, we saw a nest under the eaves of one of the town garages. Yeah, I think it's that.
Is that
And that's the
This is the
printout.
second one.
That's the,
Okay.
that's the,
Well,
oh,
maybe.
So there's,
wait a minute.
I don't know that I have
I
that.
don't think I have
I
that.
have one called This Morning's Bird Walk.
And then a follow-up.
Did that
And then I
have
have the follow-up about parasitic,
does it have a photo of a bird underneath?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
another
have that one.
follow-up. I don't think I have a chart like that.
Okay,
What's her email? Does somebody have her email?
I
So
do.
I'm just curious.
It is Maeve, Kim, Maeveve, KIM 7 at gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna look at that. All right.
I should, then, would you kindly put your phone number right there, and I'll add it to my contacts here. So that we can go to the bed. Thank you.
No, I don't think either I deleted or I didn't get it.
I
Did you
didn't
get the one
that
with the
looks like
phone?
that.
I don't have
Chart,
that.
yeah, I don't have that, but I have. But we can go through and forward things around.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have it anymore. I tend to be trying to be tidy in my email.
Oh,
All things.
okay.
I can copy it right now. Copy machine's.
It is.
Oh, yes, I think it is. It's been speaking with us.
Is that the fax machine?
No, that sounds that air conditioner.
That's all.
Would you like me to move to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, please yes, we need a
Lori
motion to
moves
adjourn.
to adjourn the meeting at 8:41.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm ending the recording right now.